Let's now move on to genre analysis itself and talk about various steps which may be used to conduct a genre analysis. There has been many researchers, including the popular Bhatia and many others, who have identified certain steps which may be used to conduct a genre analysis. But before we conduct a genre analysis or are involved in any kind of steps in relation to this, we need to identify that what do we need or what do we want to do. Do we want to adopt a text first approach or context first approach? So this would decide about the steps to be taken also, because if we involve a text first approach, we would be involved in a different kind of steps, and if we involve a context first approach, there might be a variation uh, in the choice of steps. Let's say if we go for text first, so the first step would be to collect a sample of text uh, in order to conduct the genre analysis. Again, what kind of sample is to be collected would depend on the purpose of our research. If the research is of exploratory nature, for example, we just are at the stage of determining the nature of a genre, or just trying to figure out that a genre does exist, we may select few randomly selected text which we think may be related to that genre, and then we can explore it. But if our purpose is to conduct a detailed analysis, we might go for one or very few texts and would research them, study them in a detailed and thorough manner. But if our purpose is to find more specific features of a genre, probably we will go for a large number of or a large chunk of text and would analyze them. The next step, once we have collected our sample of text according to our purpose, is to consider what is already known about that genre. Uh, for example, we want to know more about that genre. This could only be built upon what has already been known, and in order to know that, we can read manuals, works, articles about that genre, and we can also seek help from the experts, and their opinion would let us know, would inform us what has already been written about that genre. And then next we need to refine the analysis about that genre by defining the speaker or writer of the text, for whom that writer for whom the text has been produced, uh, for example the audience or the reader of the text, and the relationship between the reader and the writer, or the speaker and the listener. What kind of relationship is there? That would also have some effect on the determination of a genre, or the determinations of the features of a genre. We must not forget at next step to identify and consider the goal or purpose or end of a particular text, because as we know, every genre has a particular goal or purpose. If we know that goal and purpose, it would become easier for us to conduct a comprehensive genre analysis, because without that, we would probably be guessing too many things to reach some proper conclusion. Therefore, we should have at least some fair idea about what kind of goals or purposes a certain genre might perform. For example, some particular advertisements are written to manipulate a particular social class or a gender. So therefore, if we know that this kind of advertisement can be framed in a particular manner, we would be in a better position to analyze that particular genre of advertisements, and we would not mix them with all other forms of the genres. A further important point can be to know the typical discourse patterns in a genre, because every genre has its own ways of using language. If we know them already, that would help us deepen our analysis of that genre. Therefore, we need to know how a language is typically organized in a certain genre, how language is organized in poetry, and how it is organized in prose. If we know it, that would help us in uh, conducting a reasonable analysis. Then, what are the typical layouts and formats of genre, and what language features, words, formal, informal, simple, or difficult words are used in a particular genre. Then we also need to know about the values, beliefs, and assumptions about a particular genre, not only about word choice but about the functions of that genre. We should also think about the networks of text that surround the genre, and to what extent the knowledge of these networks is already with us. If we do not have much knowledge, we need to develop that knowledge about a genre. But if there is enough or reasonably sufficient knowledge about it, we might use that knowledge to discover new networks or to establish better relationship between previously formed networks of a genre. So overall, a genre analysis is not a straightforward discourse analysis where we could draw meanings from a text in a straightforward manner. Rather, we will have to follow certain steps, starting with the selection of the samples of text to knowing the sociocultural context of a genre or a text. And these steps would help us in conducting a comprehensive genre analysis.